So again, just warming it up gently. This is a very powerful spot, as I mentioned to you guys before, just at that very tip there.
So how much pressure you put on now?
For me, about a 0.15.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll show you on yourself. Yeah. It's also extremely light, just because of all that injury, the plate, the whole thing, it's messed up. And you know, we just got to work at what she can handle. And she'll handle more as she gets used to it. So tight on this inner. Can you feel that? Oh yeah. It's just shockingly tight there. So I'm just giving a quick run over on everywhere because again, we're just keeping it within what she can handle. Encouraging her to breathe deeply throughout the treatment. And how long was it that you couldn't really walk on this foot? Was it a few years with or you had to have a boot?
3 years.
About 3 years, yeah.
What do you do to it, Sam?
I've had a slip and I lost the Liz Frank ligament, which supports all the metatarsals.
Yeah.
But it was misdiagnosed and mistreated, so there were several months, 9 months, where they were trying to get me to get up and walk and use it, and I was just re-breaking bones and crushing shit because there was no support of the metatarsals. It's kind of a fun period.
You know what allopathic means?
Yeah. So again, just figuring out that, you know, we're working at sort of 9s for her, okay? And we just got to be patient and persevere. And just each time we're just getting rid of a bit of that tension there.
So it's no good in you from like really tight spot and you go quite pressure.
Yeah.
You feel it there and it's up and there throughout the top of the threshold.
Yep.
Nearly too much, like they really wanted to. Would you release a touch and then maybe move it around to keep that kind of a little bit of activation going there? Or?
Yeah, release it. If you can feel like it's just pushing the person to the point where they're wanting to tighten up or pull their foot away, you just ease your pressure off just that little bit so you're just under that threshold. And then don't keep them always at a 9 or 9.5. You're going to go from 9.5s to 6s sometimes, then back up to 9.5s or 10s. 10 is still just the very maximum a person can handle.
And would you like use that technique of like kind of a little bit of just a little bit of light movement?
Yeah, because it's a bit like acupuncture where we're actually holding and stimulating the flow of the chi. Okay? So, and but we're on a physical level, we're just trying to convince that band to let go that's got its residual tension in it. Okay? Coming all through here. So each time I'm going just that little bit harder as I go into there, but still just within her ability to handle it. You can see I'm right up there now, and I'm going to encourage her to breathe deeply. And me as a therapist will breathe deeply. And then I'll give her a rest because that's so intense. And then I'll do something else for a little while. So I'll do things like move this joint around. And then I'm going to stretch it back the way it should be, and then come into this spot, so a change. Also very intense, but it's a different spot, so. Okay, and I'm getting in a bit deeper now than I was before. So she's getting used to it. More used to it. Yeah, so this foot's had major issues for quite a while. How many years since you had your accident? 6 years? And just keep that breath going. And I'm going in deeper now. So about double my pressure. And I'm letting her rest a bit, take a deep breath. Not going in. Just letting her catch up. It's obviously going to stir up things as well. And I could even give that toe a rest and come to a different toe just to give her a little break. So a large part of as you get to be more of an experienced therapist is like, how much can I stir up in one go or at one time, you know, within a treatment. So it's like waves in the ocean, you know, we stir up a bit, we let them process, we stir up a bit, let them process. And it's about, to get the maximum result, we work at the maximum amount we can do that. And it doesn't mean that we're always working at that maximum, it means that we're still working in a wave. But sometimes it might be good just for her to have a rest on the big toe, and then we can come in and even do a little bit on the next toe. We don't have to stay on one toe, but I know I'm going to be coming back to the big toe. But it just gives her, a lot of what we're working with her is her limitation right now. That's the key skill here. Obviously, we've got our own, you know, skill in identifying bands and working with bands, which, you know, hopefully you guys are starting to get the hang of now. And then it comes down to what levels are we going to work at to get done in the time period that we have. Again, let's see, we're pushing her, we encourage her to take a deep breath. And I'm just moving that joint a little bit. And again, I'm working fairly high up there on her ability to handle. Okay? Just relax, that's it, breath. How are you going? Still there? Yeah, good. Okay. And we can then come in and use, instead of using the chopstick, give her a little rest, use our thumb and our finger. Now, it's what I'm feeling is it's really jammed up in the bottom of this joint as well. So we're identifying quite a few problem areas, you know, in every toe virtually as well. So, and just working it within what she can handle. Again, we can stretch that big toe. You felt it? Yeah. Okay, and then while it's stretched, I can come back into here. We can come into here again. Turning the toe. So remember how I was saying it's kind of turned this way? Like naturally that's how it's turned. We're turning it back the other way. Okay, I can even pull the toe out and go gently into here. Into that joint. But not too hard because we still have that plate here in our foot. And then again, just holding that spot there.
Bucket in the kitchen.
Bucket?
Not there yet, but it's coming.
Yeah. I expect there's a lot of emotion and a lot of stuff associated with this foot too, and everything that she's gone through.
Let's get the bin out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that idea. Just get the bin.
You could get, there's a small bin inside that one. Or smaller.
Close it out. Yeah.
See, it's starting to get some movement happening here, which is good. Okay, and I'll give that toe a bit of a rest, come to the other one. So yeah, just
Right, that side's great.
so just patience, perseverance, and then letting her, you know, obviously vomiting is just one more form of toxins coming out. Which is good. Let it go then. Just breathe into it. Just relax. You need a chance to have a breath. Better catch your breath. So we're starting to stir things up now. Yeah. Well, it depends on what we're talking about with too much. So obviously, some people go, oh, it's too much when a person is screaming. Well, people can scream not out of pain, but they can scream because you're accessing something that's in there.
That was an access.
That was?
That was an access.
That was an access. So there's emotion there. So it's not that she was screaming out of pain, it was just like, it accessed the emotion, and that's what she's saying. Yeah, I'm not holding her foot. I'm working with just near her maximum. And you can see like what she was saying. She wasn't screaming out of pain. She was screaming because I'm accessing the emotion. There's obviously a lot of emotion associated with her foot like this, you know? Some people make that mistake of thinking that when people are getting a good treatment, that they're always screaming out of pain. For me personally, I don't really usually scream out of pain. I usually scream out of repressed emotion. If I've got repressed anger, I'll scream. Not because it's painful. People could be just doing something like assisted belly breathing, and if it's going to access my anger, it's not painful, it's just that I feel the anger. So I scream it out. So again, now it's just starting to move that toe. Twist it, turn it that way, come in, move the joint. So let her have that.
Tantrum.
What's that?
It's a tantrum.
Yeah, it'll have a tantrum until she gives her the toe back. And I might even then come back to the big toe. So coming back and forth, just to allow her that rest. Because it's all kind of intense, all the toes, but it's just nice sometimes to have a little change. Change is as good as a holiday sometimes, you know. We get doing the same. It's like when somebody's working on one spot that's really intense, it's nice just for them to work somewhere else, even if it's equally intense, but it's a different spot. So that's also something to think about when you're working. So again, now starting to move that big toe. Some little clicks, yeah. But the great thing is too, you can see she's super enthusiastic to get this foot better. Oh yeah, it's already freeing up, yeah. Could you pass me one of those Thai massage tools, please?
Thanks.